Okay. So now the webinar is start recording, and I want to welcome Ruhiyye. Ruhiyye, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Hanan. Hello, everyone. I'm also truly happy to welcome you in our webinar today and in our joint webinar with Hanan. Thank you for joining, and I hope this webinar will be very useful for you because we are in the terms of the period of applying for quality labels, and the deadline is still ongoing in Azerbaijan and as well as in Jordan, as far as I have the information. And hope you will add some useful tips to your projects, and you can go back to, if you have applied for quality labels already, you can back to their application form and make some corrections or amendments there. So I think this webinar will help you to just to make some good application for current projects, as well as to fit your activity in the further projects in the upcoming academic year. So today, Hanan, I'm here.
Yes.
So you can have a good overview here. This is a workshop overview of what we are going to tackle today. Yes, we will talk about 5 steps requirements set for quality labels, and we will have space some time for your questions and answers at the end of the webinar. And what is our objective? To encourage to create an action plan for a better communication in your current projects, such as creating events, setting projects as well, and to ensure a collaborative atmosphere for further projects, because sometimes teachers get disappointed and they get express their dissatisfaction that why they didn't get the quality label. But that's why we are making these webinars, to make awareness and to aware all the eTwinners teachers about the activity and about the requirements for quality labels. So that's why you can take some notes or make screenshots from this webinar. And I also want to mention that the guideline we have used here is based on the official framework guideline from the CSS. That's why I have we advise you to take some tips from here. So will you make the, yes, thank you, Hanan. So our webinar, so about 5 criteria of the projects, right? For quality labels. So what criteria are our projects evaluated on? So have a look. We have only 5 criteria. The first one is collaboration between partner schools. I will deep dive this criterion and mention all 3 subsections, because the first and the second criteria here, the collaboration between partner schools and the use of ICT, have subsections as well. Then the third one is pedagogical innovation. Fourth is curricular integration, that deals with your curriculum. And the fifth one is the results and dissemination, where you have to compile all your folders and how you disseminate it. How do you take it out of your classroom to the society? How do you disseminate it? So will you change the slide, Hanan, please? Before moving on, jumping on to collaboration, I want to mention communication, because the way to collaboration goes through communication. With no communication, we can have no collaboration. That's why I want to compare these 2 terms together. So our ability to link communication and collaboration continues to set us apart from the countless other species that exist, and enables us to evolve as much as we do. Actually, these 2 terms are interconnected, but there's a clear difference between the 2. the act of exchanging information through modes like speaking, writing, or listening can be termed as communication. This is clear, and you know. But in contrast, collaboration is the act of exchanging and gathering information to achieve a specific result. So how to connect communication to collaboration? Reports state that over 80% of unproductivity in the projects is due to the lack of communication and ineffective collaborations. So according to the statistics that we get from the just evaluators of the projects, they also mentioned the less of communication and collaboration between partner skills. That's why I'm gonna get stuck in this criterion. So efficient collaboration, as stated by many businesses, and has become the key to successful overcoming the problem, right? So, and how to be an effective communicator, not only in projects, everywhere. An effective communicator will possess certain characteristics that will decide the outcome of collaboration. As an effective communicator, you will be able to ensure smooth workflow and fulfill leadership roles and establish a comfortable and productive environment for all participants in the project. And effective communication leads to successful collaboration that can open us new opportunities and enables us to unlock milestones that would not be possible alone, like in our eTwinning projects. We can never fulfill our eTwinning projects on our own, right? So will you change the slide, Hanan, please?
Yes, dear, I changed it.
Okay, thank you. So how about the channels for effective collaboration? Currently, email is the primary platform for sharing and circulating project files and updates, but everyone witnesses it that due to the staggering amount of promotional and spam messages that we receive from email, this is just hindering our productivity, and it becomes time consuming. And to avoid this, people can opt for alternative channels that provide these features without distractions, like Slack. I don't know if you use Slack or not, but actually Slack can restrict the promotional videos or promotional posters. Will you change the slides, Hanan, please? Okay, to achieve the highest success in the final evaluation, we have to collaborate within the projects, and we will start talking about for teachers projects, teachers collaboration first. Let's have a deep look. So teachers are the first and foremost figures to collaborate in eTwinning. If teachers do not collaborate, what kind of students collaboration we can talk about, right? So teachers have to discuss and plan the tasks of the project. This is the first and foremost requirement. So, and they share the same responsibility for the completion of all tasks. I would say eTwinners should be very picky in choosing partner teachers, co-founders in projects, because it depends. The success of the project depends on the partner, on the responsibility of your co-founders. And they can assume roles for the project, like different duties around the project. And in spite, they allocate responsibilities. They all carry equal rights, actually. But if the project is international, each teacher should be set to take responsibility for a different group. We can also have some roles, as well as teachers and other students. I will mention it in the next slide. Please change the slides, Hanan. to talk about the students' collaboration and what is students' collaboration, and what do we need eTwinning for if we had them work on their own, right? That's a good question. So we do need students' collaboration in eTwinning projects. We have also witnessed it in our experience that the teacher in our school was working on the project very with great responsibility. I also witnessed how she made a roundtable discussion, took the students to the exhibition. I was witnessing what she was doing in the project, but I was really got shocked when I heard that teacher got rejected with for the quality label. And when I asked the reason, the answer was that the teacher has fulfilled everything in the project, but on her own. No collaboration, no student collaboration or teacher collaboration was visible in the twin space. You see, that's why she got rejected for the quality label. So what is students collaboration? Students will work together with their peers. They also have we can give them some rights to pick their peers, to choose their peers. Maybe some students will go with another student that we more than the one that we just advise for her, right? So students will work together with their project partners, of course, and students stand up for making most of the project decisions, and the older they are, the more creative ideas they can provide, actually. And we can enlist some students who has good knowledge at ICT, at drawing, at music, in different parts to just to vary the activities around the project. And all students in the charge of performing some tasks that will lead to a joint product, and each student's contribution will matter for the successful completion of the task and quality of the final project. So that's why I have included all the facts here, all the just articles here to make you take some notes. And all this performance, students' performance, will lead to a desired collaboration, of course. Hanan, will you go to the next slide, please? Okay, thank you. So let's once more again have a look at the criteria that our projects are going to be evaluated on. So quality in the project, as you say, is evaluated on 5 criteria, and top score is 25. Each of these 5 criteria have 5 points. It can score 5 points maximum. And as I mentioned a little ago, the first 2 criteria in the rubric contain subsections where a minimum score is needed in order to get the label. Our advice is that if a project clearly doesn't reach the minimum in either of these subsections, the label application is rejected, and you do not need to go further in the evaluation. So the scoring is simple. Like we give a mark for each subsections. For example, the evaluators give a mark for each subsection, and the subsection scores are added together and divided by the number of subsections to obtain the mean score for each subsection. And the totals of each subsection are then added together to give the final score. I think I've clearly expressed it. And the minimum required to obtain label is certain, national quality label, provided that the applicant has succeeded in all relevant subsections criteria 1 and 2. If you have 0 point in any of these subsections, it means you cannot get the quality label. That's why we push this rubric to teachers before they make their projects and project descriptions. And to be eligible for a European quality label, the minimum score is sometimes it changes, but at least you should have 18 points, right? So strategies for coordination among teachers, as you see, is the first subsection. You see 1A. And each subsection has, as you say, has 5 points. If you have, if the teacher takes no part in coordination beyond agreeing with a project description, he will get 1 point. Okay, so, and when do we get the 5 score? If the teacher use shared spaces to comment on the development of the project, finishing assignments, receiving materials, and there is an agreed and detailed work plan on other detailed evidence of coordination. So actually, I want you to make some screenshots to apply for further projects. How about the second subsection, 1B? Yeah, that's strategies for online collaboration among people. That tackles students' collaboration. Minimum score of 3 required to obtain the quality label. Can you see the note on the above, just on the top of the slide? Minimum score of 3 required to obtain the quality label. So, and if you get 1 and 2, you see, they are labeled red. We cannot get the quality label. To get it, we should meet the requirements in the third slot. Collaborative activities are organized in accordance with the objectives of the project, and the pupils' productions are available for all the others to view. So, and there are interactive activities among pupils from different schools, chats, video conferences, forum threads. These are collaborative activities, and I'll mention it just at the end when I talk about collaboration. So how about the first C subsection? Now, please, so this is about creating common products. You see, all these 3 subsections can compile one criterion. So there is no connection between the products created in the different skills. Okay, we will get 1, and it will not meet the requirements, of course. And the majority of products are the result of contributions made by groups or individuals, pupils from different skills. So if we meet the requirements in the 5th slot, we can have 5 points and move on to the next criterion to be evaluated. Thank you, Hanan. So, and what rules should we set for ourselves, for our students, to have a successful project? So, get to know your partners. Actually, I mentioned a little ago that we have to be picky in making, just gathering the team. So, founder and the co-founder are the first and foremost figures in the project. This is clear, but maybe there are some new teachers, newly joined teachers. You can also enroll them in your project and teach them. They will learn many just useful manners to run their own project for the next year. It also happens, and always happens. So we have to share our. We have to share everything with our partners, and we have to do it before our project starts. Even we have to do it before making the description, writing the description of the project. So we have to discuss the age of the students. Thank you, Hannah. The age of the students, and to meet their interests. Maybe my students are very good and are very interested in robotics, but their age level is not appropriate for the project, right? So I cannot work with that project with them, or on the contrary, age level meets, but interest doesn't. So we have to follow. We have to just be flexible to our students. So what is Golden Rule 2? Create a detailed time schedule. This is about setting deadlines, even some soft deadlines we can set for the activities in the project, like we are fulfilling, and we can have, how to say, 2 or 3 weeks, right? We can have a soft deadline for within 2 weeks and check the works, check the activity outputs, and then move on to the 3rd week and complete all the work in the 3rd week. And this is the strict deadline for the activity. And share the schedule with your students, of course. This is also a requirement, because students have to know how much time they have to complete this activity, because they are not free people, right? They also have some studies, some school stuff to do. So we have to share this schedule with our students. Hanan, please, will you make the third slide? Yes. And preparatory planning leads to a successful eTwinning project. Yes, plan a meeting, introduce the project to the children, and inform parents, colleagues, and the headmaster about the specific events. I do hope your headmaster really supports you in your eTwinning activities. Sometimes it happens that teachers make notes that their school principal doesn't support them, because if they understand the essence of the project, essence of the project-based learning, they would support. I hope we do not have such kind of headmasters. We all respect them and love them and want them to support in our activities, right? So, and we also have to make the parents be mindful about the projects, because when we enroll students in some projects, we get the parent permission letter, right? This is for e-safety rules. We have to meet it as well, and I have never experienced any complaints from parents. On the contrary, I was also thanked for the activity, for the social work, for the social activity of the student, because these such kind of projects make students very sociable and flexible and tolerant. So, and teachers that are more interested from other schools to your projects, and if you can, if we talk about its dissemination, it means we have to carry this project out of our classroom. We have to carry it to the society, as well as to the school staff. And if we enroll one teacher to our new project, we will have a founder in the next year, it means. So announce the beginning of the project in the school webpage or social network page. It's also one requirement of the dissemination, the 5th criterion, Hanan will mention it. And organize mini courses for your students to teach how to use TwinSpace. So how many courses, how many meetings we have had in this classroom? I'm right now in my classroom at school, and we have had many courses, IT courses, or some other activity, holidays, events we have prepared in this classroom. This is mandatory, because if we enroll students in the project, we have to teach them something. They should have some exit ticket when leaving this project, right? Will you move on, Hanan, please? Thank you. So, Golden Rule 4, design your TwinSpace carefully. Create activity pages for each one of the planned tasks, and add a short description for each one of the activities planned on the top of each activity page. Yes, this is a good tip actually. So as a founder, I like to design my twin space, not twin space, but share the activities, divide the activities according to the types of the work, to the types of the activity. But some founders like and finds it very useful if they divide the activities pages according to the month, that chronologically they design the pages for what they do in January, what they should do in February, in March, April. It also works. It's also a good point to do, because if a teacher joins the project not at the beginning, but a month or 2 months later, he will not get lost in the project. He will go to the just appropriate, relevant month and keep up doing the activities, right? So it depends. I mean, it depends. It's up to you how you will design, but it should be very fixed, and the instruction for each page, for each activity, should be mentioned at the top of the page. So golden rule 5, break the ice and get to know each other in the project. Ice breaking is a good idea in our schools, in our lessons, in our conferences, when people there, participants, attendees, do not know each other. We have an ice-breaking activity and it really works. So the same happens in our projects. We have to interact. We have to have our students interact with each other. How? For example, so different teachers can vary their activities, but as a teacher, I like them to have a visual conference. Either on Zoom or on Teams, if they use Teams. We have, or twin space meeting, okay, meeting room. It works. Really, sound or video effect are best. And if the students talk to each other, they interact more. They some interest awake in their brain, as well as to the project. So, and we add students to the twin space. Actually, according to e-safety rules, we never allow students to use their photos as a profile photo, but we can have them use any avatars. But you should have a description about a short bio, a short info about the teacher. This is mandatory. Golden rule 6. So team your students up. Actually, we can team up our students according to just two criteria: transnational diversity and their talents and skills. I mean, the ICT group, the photography group, the musicians group. So this is up to you, and this is this depends on the diversity of the students. How many musicians are there? How many photographers are there? We cannot figure out beforehand, right? But when we get to know all students, we know their interests. And each teacher knows their students well, right? So we can have a teacher meeting. As it was mentioned before, teacher meeting is mandatory around the projects. So we can make some consultation and make transnational or talent skill groups. And ask your students to work together and write a short description of their group members. They can use, choose just a group leader for themselves, and a group leader will give some instructions. And we have to make them not a student, but student admin while adding to the twin space. The role should be admin. Because they have to give comments or make threads in the forum posts. So golden rule 6, I'm guessing it should be about collaborative activities. Hanan? Yeah, this is a screenshot from our projects. We have been in this project with IDA teacher. Yes, IDA teacher is also here. There are two diversity groups here. Okay, diversity. I mean, according to group, countries, and according to skills group. So, golden rule 7, Hanan. So, and plan as many collaborative activities as possible. Actually, eTwinning projects cannot be real, cannot be authentic with no collaborative activities, and we should have an outcome at the end of the project. So that's why we should use many. We should do many collaborative activities. Actually, I want you to interact here. If the chat box works for you, hope it does. Go to the chat box and please send the collaborative activity that you use or like to use, love to use in your projects. Because the more collaborative activities we do in our projects, the more interesting we can make it. And we have to avoid creating folders for each country on the twin space. Actually, this is not a sign of collaboration. Using a different, for example, folder for Azerbaijan, Azerbaijani students, Jordanian students, or Turkish students like this. So actually, this is not a sign of collaboration. Yes, in terms of evaluation, it makes the work challenging. If the folder is mixed, the evaluator is just have some difficulties to find it. But as a sign of collaboration, it's not right to do that. So, can I say your feedbacks? What collaborative activities do you use in your projects? Yes. Can I say your feedbacks or comments? Okay, yes, from Twin Space pages, good. Now I want to share a link for you. Actually, this is not made by me, and this is not a plagiarism, but I have used some internet tools, internet files to make this folder, to make this link for you. And now I'm sharing it for you. Share. And you can just save. I'm sharing it like in the viewer status, and you will make a copy for you and make as many changes as you want. Okay, I'm dropping the link to the chat box. Yes, I think it will work for you. Group discussion, Khadija Khanum, thank you very much. Role play, yes, love role play. I love role play. So you can have my link. Acrostics, yes, acrostics, poem or story, yes, acrostics. And Ainur Khanum, even we can make some tunes, fit the acrostics to the tunes. It's also fun. You can have it. I know you are a very capable teacher. Thank you, Ainur Khanum. Thank you for your feedback. Hanan, will you go to the next slide, please? Okay, golden rule 8. Set evaluation criteria. So everywhere, whatever we do, we have to evaluate ourselves. We have to discover our weaknesses, our strengths as well, to apply in the further projects as well. At the same time, we have to discover our weaknesses. What didn't work? What worked well? And we can have feedbacks from teachers, from all teachers, from parents, and from the students themselves. If we set that, for example, if we make a forms and push it to the twin space to have the students make a feedback, we can have an anonymous status, and if there is just they should if they have to write their names, they can avoid writing some minus feedback or some just lacks shortcomings, right? And it will work if you get feedback, any feedback from teachers, students, and parents as well. So we'll go to the next slide. Do I have to? So that's it. And if you have any question dealing with communication, I can be open to your questions. You can drop your questions to the chat box, and I will read it and answer at the end. Thank you very much, Asaf. So, Hanan?
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ruhiyye,
Welcome.
very much for this detailed information. I wish that you clarify this criterion because I think it's very important criterion, actually, collaboration and communication. So I will move to the rest of the criteria, but not as detailed as collaboration and communication. I will mention just a headline and some description of each criteria. And we will start with the criterion, second criterion. Actually, it's use of technology. And I think that technology always used in a project, in eTwinning project, actually, to help partner achieve their pedagogical objectives, and also to help partner to collaborate better among themselves. And in this criterion, you have, when you apply for the quality label, you have to describe 2 points, actually. The first point, you have to describe how technology had been used by you and by all partners also to enrich the activities. For example, you may use the teacher bulletins or WhatsApp groups to remind the activities for your partner, or you can say I'm using Kahoot to carry out interactive activities, for example. And the second thing that you have to describe in using technology is the data protection and copyright issues. And I think that e-safety and data protection is a very important point in using technology. You can, for example, preserving copyright when you are using photo or using, for example, a video of a project by referring to the source of this photo or this source. And when you are using technology, you have to ensure these points. The first point, you have to ensure that you have a clear and specific rules and standard of behavior for teachers and for your students as well, that involved in your project and that are accessible to any space. And the second point, you have to ensure also that all the work environments that you are working with is suitable and is safe for your students and also for teacher. The third point that you have to ensure is do not forget to obtain the parent permissions for their children participation in the project, and to inform them the basic principles of eTwinning code of conduct. You can also present to them what is the activities that their child will be do in actually in this project. And the third point also, you have to pay attention to use tools in a creative way. It's not just to use a tool or to use a digital tool. It's not by the number of the tools that you are using. It's how you use these tools. So you have to think by a creative way how to use these tools. And also you have to ensure that you use alternative tools for the same product. Because you sometimes you have for example, one product or one activity, but you have to use several alternative tools, so you can show this activity in a creative way or on a comprehensive way. And also you have to be sure that students participate in suggesting and selecting tools during the project. This point is very important because we have to let our student to take the lead. I mean that we haven't just to said to our students just what to do, what ICT or digital tool they have to pick. We have to take them or to give them the control to suggest and use their own digital tool. And also we have to ensure that students are provided with workshops or online meeting or guides or tutorials that help them to become familiar with the tools, because I think that the main objective from eTwinning project is that our students will learn new ICT tools and new digital tools. So I think that we have to teach them how to use these tools. We have to organize workshop for them, online meeting in the class, how to use this digital tools. Now I will have this checklist. This checklist is related to use of technology. And if you will apply for the quality label, I advise you that you put this checklist inside of you or in front of you, and you will check each point of it. Is it found in your project or not? Because I think if you use this checklist, your applying for the quality label will be perfect. About the checklist that is related to use of technology, we have three category actually. The first category is the choice and the use of ICT. As I mentioned earlier, it's not random. Using or picking the digital tools for your activity is not random thing. It's not by the number of the tools that you are used. So you have to check these points. First of all, do the tools meet your project goals? This is very important. And do the students have a say in a selection of the tools? Do your students select and suggest what digital tool they use? Also, do you use a variety of tools for different activities? And do you organize a workshop for your students so you can teach them how to use these digital tools? And another point of this category, are the tools appropriate for the age level of your students? Because we all know that some tools are not suitable for some ages. So we have to pay attention for this point. The second category by using of technology is twin space management. And the twin space management is very important. All partners should collaborate to organize their twin space in a good way. You have to check 3 points actually. The first point is, do you have your twin space well organized? You have pages, you have sub pages, you have a description at the beginning of each page. This is an important thing. The second point is, are your students in the twin space, are they comment, are they having an accounts, and they do like, they do comments, they go to discussion, they go to the forum? So this is a point, a very important point. And the third point is related to twin space management, is, do all partners work in the twin space? Because it's not useful that the founder and the co-founder that who organize the twin space. All partners should have a print and should have their own role in managing the twin space. And about the final category that is related to using the technology checklist is about copyright and about e-safety. You have to be ensured from 3 points. The first point is all personal information password protected in eTwinning space, and have you established real rules on of online collaboration? Have you, for example, made a code of conduct that is suggested by your students? And the final point that is related to copyright, are you using copyright-free materials? And if you use copyright materials that are not free, you have to mention the source. This is about the using of technology checklist. I think if you tick all these points and answer yes for each point in this checklist, I think using technology criterion in your project is perfect. Let's move now to the third criterion. It's about pedagogical innovation and creativity. And in this criterion, you have to describe 2 points actually. The first point is the educational objective and pedagogical approaches you have used with your students during the project. And of course, if your students is young, very young, you have to mention the methods that you use with your students to engage them in your project. And in this criterion, you have to ensure these 5 points. First of all, you have to ensure that the educational objective must be clear, must be specific, and must be measurable. And of course, you all the partner must agree on this objective at the beginning of the project. The second point is you use in your project a variety of pedagogical method, not just one method, of course, because all of us know that the project will contain a variety of activities, and it's not make sense that you will use one method for all activities. So I think that each activity will have a different method in your project. The second point is that students are the one who take the lead, not just to follow steps and rules that teacher will put for them. And you have also students must interact with their partners, and as Ruhiyye said, and they must work collaboratively using different methods like, for example, information gathering, like problem solving, like, for example, comparative work. So they have to interact collaboratively. And also pupils or students have to take different role. As also Ruhiyye mentioned, they can be artists, they can be journalists, they can be, for example, actors, they can be scientists. This is an important point in this a criterion. Now let's move to the checklist that is related to pedagogical innovation and creativity. As you said, we have actually 2 categories in this checklist. The first checklist is setting educational objectives. And as I said before, if you tick yes in all these points, I think that this criterion in your project will be perfect. First of all, you have to make sure that all objectives of your projects are clear and simple, and of course measurable and agreed by all of your partner. You have to the second point, can they be found in the proposed activities as well as in the results of the activity? Are they in direct connection with the topic, the content, activities, and the outcome of the project? And also the point of, are they oriented toward building skills and competencies? Are the project outcome quantifiable? And is there an evaluation of the outcome in the project that reflects the degree of the objectives were met? You have to evaluate, as Ruhiyye said, you have to evaluate your project. You have to evaluate the objective at the beginning, at the middle of the project, and also at the end of your project. Do they take into consideration the context of your school, the age of your students, the time, also the resources? All this stuff must be take in consideration, and you have to take be sure that are the objective actual and consistent with the age of your students. Are they a reasonable challenge for you and your students, and are they too hard or to achieve or too easy? Of course, all of us as teachers know that the objective mustn't be too hard and mustn't be too easy. Do you consider how long your project will engage you and your students? We are talking here about the time. And do you set a deadline for each objective or for achieving the goals? Here we are talking about time management of your activity and of your project. Now, the second checklist, the second category in pedagogical innovation checklist is about pedagogical approaches and teaching proposal that you are use. Is there a variety of meaningful pedagogical methods and techniques? Are they in line with the set objectives? Do they encourage active learning? For example, you use comparative work, you use problem solving, you use collaborative co-creation, etc. And another point, are they organized and used in an innovative way? Is there a new creative approach that you use in your, for example, content in your activity? Are also, do you plan a variety of activities that allow for students to make decisions, for example? And does the project enable students to be actor in the process of learning and creating a product? And I think if you take a yes and answer yes of each point in this checklist, I think that your project will be perfect. Let's move to the fourth criterion, that is curricular integration. And I think this criterion, you have to ensure that the project is rooted in your syllabus, and the majority of project work is done during the school hours. Of course, we all in our projects have to organize some meeting for students outside the school hours, but you have to make sure that most activities are done in during the school hours. And also the majority or the curriculum integration in the project is clear. You can, for example, build a curricular integration plan and share it with your partner, and each partner will complete what is the subject that is integrated in their countries with the project, and you can share it on the Twin space. And also the final point that you have to ensure in curricular integration is the project-based pedagogy, that the project work allows the student develop their skills and develop their competencies as well. The checklist that we have to be ensured in curricular integration is divided into two categories. The first category is curricular integration in one or more subject. Does the project include a curricular objective and content? And is the project somehow conceived as a part of the official educative school or class planning? And the second category is multidisciplinary approach. And this is the point that you have to take and to be ensured that it is you answer yes for this a point to make the curricular integration perfect. I will mention them. Do you collaborate with colleagues of your school for the eTwinning project? Because I think that collaboration is not just between you and your partner, but also you can collaborate with your teacher at school. What about your partners? And does the project involve different subjects? If yes, is the multidisciplinary approach reflected in the content and the objective of the project? Key competencies, knowledge, skills, and attitude. And are key competencies and the skills a relevant part of your project? They should be, of course. And if yes, are the project content, objectives, and activities related to the key competencies and the skills? And as we know, we have 8 competencies, European competencies. I think you should see these competencies as well. I have a tip related to curricular integration. Actually, you can meet with the subject coordinators at your school and present your project idea to them, so they can help you to decide which subject and grade level project will serve. And also you can meet with your students at the beginning of the project that are involved in your project, and identify the skills and the competencies that they lack and need to be developed through working on the implementation of the project activity. And let's move to the last criterion. It's about results and documentations. And I think that we must make sure that the project results are presented online, that students are involved in a eTwinning, they have account, they have active account, they enter to the eTwinning, for example, 1 week, they make comments, make likes, for example, to homepage, to discussion forum, and etc. And also all steps of the project are documented, including the plan, description of activities, evaluation, and feedback. And also you have to evaluate and publish the impact of the project that had on the students and on the teachers and also on their parents. And of course, you have to use the checklist that I presented to you for each criterion, so you make sure that the criterion is perfect with you. And we have this checklist that is related to documentation, results and documentation. It's divided into 3 categories, actually: achievements of the set of objectives, activities, and outputs, project evaluation, and dissemination. And this dissemination actually is very important. You have to disseminate your project. Are you disseminating your project outside of your classroom, for example, on your local media, or on social media, on official, for example, Facebook page for your school, and etc. And I want to end with the tip that when you choosing or when choosing a project, make sure that it serves and benefits a large segment of society to ensure its sustainability. I hope that me and Ruhiyye, clarify these criterion to you, and I hope that each one apply for a quality label or will apply for a quality label will get the quality label. And Ruhiyye, thank you, Ruhiyye. Thank you, eTwinners, for listening to me. I don't know if we have any question in the chat box. I will stop presenting so we can take any question. Ruhiyye, are you with me?
Yes, I'm here, Hanan. Thank you for the presentation. You also mentioned all the details here, and I think our attendees can have detailed information. But we have 2 hands raised up.
Okay.
Yeah, Shukra teacher, you can turn on your microphone and ask your question.
You are unmuted. You can unmute your mic, please.
Yeah.
Yes, please go ahead.
Unmute yourself, Shukra teacher. Turn on your mic and speak out. Maybe she has some problems in turning on. Yeah, she's on.
Okay.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
Okay, a little bit I'm late for connecting, but
No problem. It's okay.
It's okay.
There was written about 20, but I just look out and see that you begin your presentations. It was very clear to me, and when I wrote my application, I always do these things. When I write my project, I like to do everything step by step and make my plan month to month. Because if we have newcomer teachers,
Yeah.
they will have some problem if they don't know these instructions. But sometimes if we have no plan, the teachers will have some problem, and we need to help them. And sometimes we make some WhatsApp group or other Zoom conferences and help them for this one. And just now, I want to tell that yesterday, till all the day, I tried to do everything for helping my partner, which I was one founder of the project. She lost her permission. We didn't see her in the project. And at last, yesterday evening, we did it. And she can apply the project. Sometimes when we have such problems, we need to collaborate each other. I mean, it is good thing for helping each other. And I must say that students learn lots of technology, as you say, Anna. I agree with your presentation. Students learn lots of technology, can learn how to use lots of technology during participation in the project. And I must.
Shukra teacher, you are muted. You are muted. Please unmute yourself.
I am mute. Just do you hear me just now?
Yeah.
Before, when I work with my students in the project, just now I see them in the lot of fields they succeed, and it helps them to make their criterion, make their career in the life. I think working with project helps students for their future career.
So.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So WhatsApp groups, actually, it's not a must in projects, Shukra teacher. That's just for quick access, because we always, all the day long, we are with our mobile phones. Maybe we don't check our email boxes, but we get notifications when a message comes on WhatsApp, right? So actually, I didn't get the question. Maybe, Hanan, is it addressed for you?
No, I think that the sound was interrupted,
Yeah.
but I think she was talking about collaboration between teachers, that sometimes it's difficult or they do not cooperate. I get this point actually, and I don't know if what is her name, Ruhiyye?
Shukra teacher.
Shikuba, have you a clear question or just you want to make a comment?
Please tell your question. Give your question. Just now, I don't catch the question clearly.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think Aida has a question. Ruhiyye, Aida, you can unmute your mic and ask or comment.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Aida.
I'm very glad to see you all here, and I would like to thank you,
We are
Hannah
also glad to hear you.
and Ruhiyye, for such a fruitful and wonderful webinar for the teachers.
Thank you, Aida.
You mentioned many tips which the teachers should pay attention while doing the project, and I do hope that the new eTwinners will benefit from your webinar, and we will kindly share your webinar with our new eTwinners in our WhatsApp groups. Thank you very much. And
Thank you,
mostly what I liked in your presentation, it's the collaboration and cooperation between students and teachers. So it is the most important while doing the project, and thanks to you that you mainly paid attention at this, because sometimes the new eTwinners then don't pay attention to it, and while doing the project they are not so active in cooperation, and that's why they don't get the quality label which they would like, or European prize. As we know that in getting the prize and national or European quality levels, the cooperation and collaboration is the most important. Thank you, Hannah. I really liked you, and thank you, Ruhiyye, for sharing the Web2 tools and Web3 tools links with our eTwinners. And I'm sure it will be very useful for the new eTwinners. Thank you.
Thank
You are
you.
great.
Thank you, Aida,
All.
very much.
Thank
you.
Actually, Aida teacher is also capable, very capable at doing Web3 tools.
I have an idea, yes.
So, Shukra teacher, you have a hand raised up. Do you have any other comments, or just you left it raised? Yes.
Well, Shafiqa is raising her hand again. Yes, you can.
No, it's myself.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So, any other questions?
In the chat, did you check the chat? I don't know. I don't.
Okay. Thank you very much. We have very positive comments here. I'm guessing we have no question. We have just positive feedbacks. Thank you all. Thank you, dear colleagues, our dear eTwinners, ambassadors, mentors, or colleagues who attended our webinar today. And it's recorded and it will be shared. You also feel free to share the link.
Yes.
Whoever needs.
And Ruhiyye, have we shared the presentation? Can we share the presentation?
Yes, sure. Why not?
Yes, because I think it contains the checklists and very intensive information. So I think they can have it and see it in. Yes, we can share the presentation also with them.
We own the authority. This is our own product, and we can share it wherever we need. This is not plagiarism. This is the and this is the product of our brains and collaborative work as well with Hanan. So feel free to share it as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
If we have any other questions, I think we can wrap it up.
Okay, we can wait just for 2 minutes.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Aitan Hanam, Elvina Hanam, and staff. Khadija Hanam.
Khadija.
Asma Hanam. Yeah, I know Hanam. Okay.
As Asma and Insaf are ambassadors. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for attending, Asma and Saf, and all eTwinner from Jordan and from Azerbaijan also.
Great webinar, Hanan. Thanks, Hanan. Thanks,
Thank
Sophie.
you. Thank you, Insaf. Thank you very much for attending.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. We can say goodbye, Hanan.
Okay, I have to stop for first the recording.
Yeah.